Hello. Sorry, I had to check if I was recording. Okay. If today I have a really cool reading. Obviously you know from the title, but what makes you unforgettable? I haven't done anything like this before. I know that in other piles, when I read into whoever's watching, like your energy, I do pick up on stuff like that, but I just want to do one dedicated to that, okay? There's a lot of oracle in this one, but there's also some tarot. Everything has been pre-picked, and also like my other readings, I'm answering a specific question with a specific set of cards, just to, like, it's just a little bit better that way. So at first I'm gonna ask what people notice about you when they first meet you, like what's like the first impression that is like it's instant, like it's an instant thing. And this is going to be, not, it could be physical, it could be like whatever people pick up about you spiritually or energetically as well. And then I'm going to look into what lasting impression you have on others. And then at the end, we're going to be looking at what comes to mind when people think about you. So when someone, whether it's an old friend, a family member, someone you just met 5 minutes ago, what would come to their mind? What comes to mind right away when they think of you? So yeah, we have 3 piles. It's a really in-depth kind of reading. So yeah. First, we have Labradorite here. I don't know why this stone lady doesn't want to flash for you guys, but it's quite beautiful. Then we have clear quartz. And the last one is a chunk of raw green aventurine. So yeah, go ahead and pick your piles. See what kind of resonates with you, whether it's here like visually, or it could be with the timestamps that you guys choose, like I always say. And yeah, I'll see you in your readings. Hello, Pile 1. If you guys picked Labradorite, this is going to be your reading today. I'm going to do a little something different. I usually put the crystals to the side, but today I'm going to hold them. I feel like I should hold them while I do your reading, okay? So they'll be out of frame, but yeah. All right, so we are going to start. This one's actually the last one. So we have, I just got to pick my my little bundles here to answer the first question. I'm seeing right away, Pal 1, I was meant to just get one of the Mystic Forest Oracle, and you got 2. I don't know how that happened. I haven't looked at these, so that's interesting that now I'm counting and I'm like, why do I have an extra card? Okay. All right, so the first question we're asking is, well, overall, we're asking what makes you unforgettable, but the first question is what people notice about you when they first meet you. So let's see. Oh, dragonfly. Okay. So you have this aura about you that's probably, you have like a blue aura, first of all. Also, it's like you break whatever static or silence or I don't know, stagnicity, or there's something. This is reminding me of, like, when there's a, like, the old TVs had like the lines. This I know this is probably aging me. I am actually 33, so I do remember when TVs had lines like this and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the static in TVs, and old TVs. And now it's like you break that. You break that in a very interesting way. And I know that this is air energy, but you see how this triangle is upside down? And that's actually water. So that's really interesting because this is water element, but it's air as well. It makes sense though because of the dragonfly is connected to both elements heavily. Wow. Also, there's something about you navigating through topics or anything that's also emotional really well. You just, I don't know, you're a big presence, even though you come across as, because dragonflies are not that big, but they're beautiful. They call attention. Their wing, it's interesting. Their wings kind of do this, the same thing that Labradorite does, which is like flash and stuff. That is cool. Actually, that's really cool. Yeah, you guys come across as I don't know. You're like a breath of fresh air. You're unique. You are. It's almost like you're everywhere you go. You feel like you look like you're in your element. It's because you bring it with you. You're a big presence, even though you could feel like there's not much to you sometimes. There is, like, energetically there's a lot. I have to read the dragonfly for you guys, because now I'm very interested too in what's going on here. Yeah. Master of light, illusion, and the mind. That is cool. When in balance, seeks clearly, joyful, and magical. When out of balance, can't concentrate in a busy mind. To bring into balance, focus on the breath. Interesting that I said you're like a breath of fresh air. So the dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens the senses of wonder and awe. Exactly. That's what I meant. Like you meet someone, and like the environment or whatever you are, it doesn't matter. If it's just mundane, it's like you bring this energy of change with you. That's beautiful. So the dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, and it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it is worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand might be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. Very interesting. Like I said, you are anything that you talk about, especially like your intelligence very much shines through, but also your emotional intelligence and emotional awareness is something that people like, they notice about you right away. Yes, with the Nine of Cups, a lot of emotional awareness and emotional intelligence, probably because you've been through a lot in that department. So it's obvious when you speak, or how you speak, or the way that you are towards people, that you are, again, very emotional intelligent. It's Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. Like, you've been through stuff. You have stories to tell, but you also have, like, this is you kind of, people notice that you radiate a lot of happiness as well. It's almost like they realize that there's been a treasure that you've unlocked from going through hardships in your life. A lot of, when it comes to like emotional attachments, maybe you've been disappointed a lot in that sense of you struggled with connections, friendships, relationships in general, especially romantic relationships. But people notice that you've actually gained so much perspective and knowledge from it. Maybe you yourself speak about that as well. Wow, power. With the dragon, you see what I mean? Like, about a big presence as well. So the dragon is interesting because the dragon also kind of embodies two energies, fire and air. And we have fire and water. There's something about you. It's almost like, to people you could be a little bit of a contradiction, but the contradiction makes sense. It suits you in some kind of way as well. Wow, ancient oak spirit, strength. 11 adds up to 2, and then you have a 2 as well here. You could be someone that just naturally seems very magical as well, and that also makes sense with the dragonfly. You seem very magical, very esoteric, like whimsical, like fairy like, but you also just, there's a lot of enlightenment that you bring here. Everywhere you go, do you see what I mean? Like everywhere you go, that you bring this light with you, this things that stands out. You stand out naturally. You don't even have to, you don't do much, okay? You don't do much. It just naturally radiates from you. Oh, this is this is cute. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So definitely people right away pick up from you that you could definitely be like a good friend instantly. You instantly just get along with everyone. That's that air energy too, because I feel like air signs naturally just get along with everyone. They're very diplomatic in that sense, so that makes sense too. That's quite beautiful, Pawan. Yeah, people just naturally gravitate towards you. They see just how much light, and like the light comes across as quite literally enlightenment. You have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but also the light comes, I'm picking up on it too, in the sense of you just, I don't know, there's this beautiful energy about you. Very authentic as well. All right, let's see what lasting impression you you kind of leave people with, right? What people will always, pretty much everyone that encounters you can kind of agree that this is like your vibe, you know. The lasting thing that they can talk about, and they be like, yeah, when they bring you up with other people, they'll be like, yeah, so this is definitely the vibe that I got from them, and everybody would agree, like this is kind of like that, like what lasting impression you leave on others. Wow. Luck and right timing, fortune wheel. Do you see what I mean with that enlightenment? This card always, I always see an eclipse with this one, okay? It's almost like this, the wheel moves aside and then the sun comes out. Like a lunar eclipse is what I see with this. But, I'm sorry, it's a sun eclipse? It's a solar eclipse? I think it is a solar eclipse. I don't know. All right, so there's that. Do you see what I mean about you just bring change and you're like different? I also like how this looks kind of like this. That's really interesting. Maybe a lot of people perceive you, or after getting to know you a bit, they kind of think, oh, she's very lucky. Like throughout her life, she's been very lucky. But I think when people get to really know you, they realize that it's just because you've been through stuff. And that's why there's a growth that shows now, or there's a certain grace about you, or it's not all luck, but it is, but it has been about timing and karmic justice and all of that stuff, okay? 23 adding up to 5 is, it's more, it speaks about how easily you adapt to change, and that could be perceived as you know, you've always wanted to be in this position, but maybe it kind of, I'm seeing it, to give you an example, it's like, let's say you get laid off from one job, but then you find another one, and when you get there and you meet your new coworkers or stuff like that, they'll be like, oh wow, you're so lucky to have found this job so fast and this and that. But really, you, it's more that you adapt easily to change and you're kind of positive about it, but deep down you did go through this energy of experiencing a loss because you probably wanted to be at that other job. But you know what, you're like, I'm going with the flow, I'm going with the wheel is moving, it's okay, I'm okay where it takes me. Your kind of approach to change is what kind of makes other people perceive it as, oh, she's lucky, or everything happens at the right time for her, or whatever, for her, him, whoever it is. But you know what I mean. We'll keep going with that. Let's see. What? It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. I love it. So it is there's that passion, there's that fire energy again. I like that. So that's the thing. You don't wait around for things to just happen for you as well. You take action. Again, that's why people perceive it as you being like lucky or something like that. But really, you work for what you have. Not to say other people haven't, or even people that get lucky, they haven't worked for what they have. That's not it. But you really, you don't shy away from tackling the new. New moons are about setting intentions, starting quite literally anew. So you don't shy away from change. It's like you head forward towards it, head first, like literally like the ram, Aries energy. Nice. With the luck thing, with the Nine of Cups, it's interesting too because the Nine of Cups is like about wish fulfillment. And that's interesting that that's the lasting impression you have on others, that they kind of see that your wishes always come true, but it's really you taking action as well. Two of Pentacles, okay. And the Queen of Wands, more fire energy. I love it. The thing is, they see you balance things so well, which again, that's why they perceive you. The lasting impression that you have on others is that you're lucky. You're lucky and things work out in your favor. But they, that's just the beginning of it all, because they don't see the work that has led you to that point. You know what I mean? Strength being here, I like that too, because it makes me think of the Strength card, and then more fire energy here too. It's really interesting. It's almost like you have all of the elements here as well. With the Two of Pentacles in this one, what I'm seeing is that you balance things so well. This is not you about making a decision. This is you quite literally, almost like, makes me think of the Magician. Because you have like almost like all the elements at your disposal, but you balance everything so well. Even in chaos, you're so well balanced that you're in your power wherever you go. That's the thing. And she's very intuitive, very tapped in, and very spiritual. But you don't get to be the queen by just being the queen. You don't wake up one day and just are the queen. It takes time to get there. You've taken time. You've been through the lessons and things in your life to get to this point. But even when you were at your worst, or what you believe to be your worst, or in the trenches, if you will, going through this, still people believed and saw you, perceive you, have the impression, leave with this impression of you that you are lucky and that you just are well balanced. And it makes sense. You balance a lot of energies at the same time. Water and air, fire and air. Like there's just, it's beautiful. Fire and earth. Wow. I quite like that. All right, the last one is what comes to mind when people think about you. So let's see. Now, because it's thinking, it's not speaking to other people, this will be a little bit more true to like what people actually think of you, or what you're unforgettable. Because sometimes when we are sharing with other people about other people, like we're talking about someone, we don't sometimes really say everything that we think. But this one right here should tell us with a little bit more depth, if you will. Meditation. Take time and connect to source through quiet reflection meditation. Okay. Observation. Expand your consciousness by observing the divine matrix of life. Exactly. This is what I was saying, that you bring this kind of, with the dragonfly, this makes sense. You bring this, with you, a lot of your practices, a lot of probably spiritual practices that you are involved in. You don't have to directly tell everybody that you are into, let's say, meditation, or that you are into tarot, or that you're into any kind of divination, or you're into spell work, or you're into making, I don't know, like spell jars, or you're into like earth magic, fire magic, whatever it might be, you don't have to literally say it for people to pick up on it. Okay, they pick up on it right away just by observing you, by observing how you speak, everything like that. Like they know. Okay, they know. They just have an intuitive knowing because it's your essence. It's like your aura. It's all. It's you. You encompass it, and it becomes you as well. So that's beautiful. All right. Perspective. None of this matters, somehow common ground. Okay, so you also help people shift their perspective. Like they think about you having big ideas, interesting thoughts, kind of interesting, even like theories when it comes to like the mythical or the magical side of life, the things people sometimes don't really talk about. When they think about you, this kind of stuff comes to mind, and that's beautiful, Pawan, because that is your essence. Like that's what you like. Even if you don't talk to someone about all of this like out there stuff, they still think about it. When they think of you, it comes to their mind. And maybe some people wonder why and they're not sure, but other people that are intuitive just like you, they realize, oh, it's because that's really what she's into, that's really what they're into, that's why it comes to mind. Interesting. Karmic relationships, Orion's energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. I picked this up here when I said like karmic justice. I also like that there's two like earth. She's going from one to the other. And then earth is here too, just in perspective, right? Even what I'm seeing here, and even the karmic connections that you have in your life, they admire your growth. They kind of understand. Eventually they will come to understand the polarity and the conflict all was there for soul growth, not just for you. Although they do see you kind of, it's almost like this person staying here and they're seeing you walk on, like literally ascend or something like that. They realize it's not just for your soul growth that all of this has happened, but it has happened for them as well. So when I feel like you could be like a catalyst for a lot of people that you meet and connect with in your lifetime. And that would resonate with some of you for sure, where you feel like you are quite literally someone who comes into people's lives, or you come into environments or group of friends or group of co-workers or even family to be not just be like an example. Sometimes it could be like that, but also to change certain things, to move the stagnicity, like I said, to clear away the static and show people a clear picture of possibilities. You're inspiring as well, Pawan. You're very inspiring, and therefore you're very triggering to some people as well. Yeah, oh my God, quite literally. So this is the Six of Wands, but this is also the Tower in this deck, and that's exactly what I was picking up on just now, where, like I said, you're inspiring with the Six of Wands. You know, the Six of Wands in the regular tarot, is someone coming in and like celebrating a win, right? It's a celebration of someone, some trying to triumph. But at the same time, what did I say? You could be an inspiration, but you could be triggering. You bring down foundations or beliefs, you shatter them. And that is triggering for people. But at the end of the day, they understand that it is about their soul growth, just like it was for you also, soul growth. That is quite interesting. That's literally what I was picking up on. Let's see the last one here. There's Earth. We have all of the elements here. It's so beautiful. Earth elements, survival, adaptable, and reliable. Exactly. Didn't I say with this, like people perceive you as lucky and like everything happens at the right time for you always, but it is because you really are adaptable. You're reliable. You survive. You're a survivor. So you don't shy away from change. It's almost like you thrive in it. Okay, you might think to yourself, I'm tired of always moving. There's always something going on in my life. Or you might resonate with something like that, like every 5 years, every 7 years, you have to move, or even shorter times than that, or like every 10 years, it's almost like your life completely shifts, and you have to like now have new friends, or you're at a new job. There's something like that, like you're ever changing, ever evolving, and you kind of don't understand why. I'm telling you, is because you are placed in certain places in the world, or in your community, in your life in general, where you need to go there to be a catalyst for change. You show people a different way of being by setting it. And I think you really truly do it by setting an example. Like if you're quite literally a leader in your own perspective way, but you lead by example. Unless you live through certain hardships, you wouldn't be able to communicate it, or even not, you don't even have to communicate it. You wouldn't be able to like energetically kind of align people with the same kind of truth that you have uncovered by going through these hardships. I don't know if that makes sense, but makes sense to me. Wow. A lot of karmic lessons for you here, but it all leads you to growth, or it doesn't matter. I think that's how you see it too, which is quite beautiful about you as well. People also admire the fact that every time there's a tower moment in your life, it's almost like you come out on top, which is why people think, oh, she's very lucky. I keep saying she. I'm so sorry if that's not how you identify, but for some reason I keep saying she. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. All right. I quite love your pile. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. This was so beautiful. I'm going to put your little stone here now. I really liked holding that. That was pretty cool. Thank you so, so much, Pile One, for letting me read for you. I appreciate you immensely. I hope that this resonated and brought you a little bit of clarity and confirmation, whatever it is that you needed at this time regarding this. And yeah, keep doing you. You're doing great. You're awesome. You're definitely unforgettable. That's without a doubt. And I hope to see you in other readings in the future, guys. Hello, Pau 2. If you guys picked the clear quartz, this is going to be your reading. I'm going to be holding your stone today because I feel called to while I do your reading, okay? So let's start with, let me put this in order. And the first question that we are asking is, what people notice about you when they first meet you, okay? Like their first impression that usually rings true, it kind of rings true overall, but let's see what the first impression is. Rabbit, okay. So earth energy, really cute. You could be someone that like physically is a little bit small, like you could be a little short. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just something that people notice about you, but short but really cute. You're really cute. And I don't want to offend anybody, but maybe your ears stand out, but again, in a really cute way. They don't look ugly or anything like that, but we're also unique. But yeah, you're short, cute, and your ears are cute, and maybe your hands as well. And you could come across to people as a little aloof, like you're a little bit like spacey, like you're here but you're not here, but you're also here in some kind of way. I don't know what that's about. I like these cards today are telling me like your aura or something. There's a lot of purple and like orangey red around you. That's quite beautiful. I'll read for you about the rabbit just so that you can kind of see if some of that resonates with you. Earth energy tells me you could be an earth sign, sun, moon, or rising, but It doesn't have to be. So the rabbit, afraid of everything, overwhelmed and frozen. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, and good listener. When out of balance, over explains and talks fast. To bring into balance, a day of silence. Okay, that's what I said. Like you could be a little bit like spacey or a little bit skittish, like you kind of like a little shifty or something like that. So the rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it, so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O rabbit. They shape your destiny. Quite interestingly, the first sign that came to mind right away is Virgo, which is an earth sign. Definitely giving me Virgo vibes, where you guys tend to be a little bit too worried sometimes, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, this is just something that people notice right away, but it doesn't mean that that's all there is to you, okay? So let's just keep going and see. The Magician. Okay, that could be why you're worried, actually. That makes sense. And the Knight of Wands. Fast-moving energy, and then the Magician. Okay, so you could be very intuitive, Pau, like very intuitive, okay? And the anxiety thing that people notice about you, it's not necessarily anxiety per se. It could be you perceiving quite literally the future. You could be a little prophetic as well. And it manifests in you kind of being worried. Worried. But I think it comes from your spiritual gifts that maybe you tap into, but maybe you don't tap into. I don't know, with the Magician and then the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is usually not very serious. It's not a very serious energy for some reason. So you could not take your spiritual gifts serious, but they're there. They manifest. People pick up on it. They pick up on it, but you could probably kind of not, what is it? You don't agree with maybe having spiritual gifts in that way. You just think maybe your anxiety is just anxiety, or you think your depression is just depression, but there could be like an underlying, even more significant thing where that's coming from, okay? It's like you spiritually you tap into like this well of knowledge here that I'm seeing in the Magician. And since it's like in your subconscious, you kind of don't, maybe you don't understand that, or you haven't really dived into kind of when you're sensing, when your spidey senses go off, that little rabbit. Usually rabbits are like eating right on the ground or something, and they get up like that when they're scared of something, like they hear like a change in the wind or something like that, or sound, or something. That could be you. You're picking up on something, but you're not sure what it is, which is why I was saying, like, I feel like people perceive you as, let's say you're doing something like in front of them, but at the same time, you're constantly having so much input, like information coming your way, but you don't know how to filter it or how to like settle it with your intuition or something like that. And then it comes across as you being nervous all the time or worried all the time. And also like a little bit spacey or something like that, because you get a lot of information fast. There's very fast information. You just have there's a lot of things coming in. So it's like some of you could be clairaudient, where you get a lot of like messages through music, or just, I don't know, you could literally hear spirit or your spirit guides. And then some of you is just your intuition, like, and then it makes sense with the Virgo, because you guys, always have kind of problems with your tummy, your stomach, and I feel like that's where your intuition oh my God, where your intuition lives, where it's like, you know, when you get that gut wrenching feeling, or like your stomach feels like it drops kind of thing. If that resonates with you, pal, too, it's because you're picking up information like intuitively. There's quite literally magic going on around you, or, you know, like spiritual work going on around you. Work, not war, by the way. And it's it's you picking up on it. There's signals, you know, just like we get signals through touch, through hearing, through taste, through smell. Well, we all have other signals that we pick up on, but sometimes if we don't know how to decipher them, it could actually kind of, I don't know, that affect us in different ways. It manifests in different ways for everybody. But wow, butterfly spirit transformation. Whoa. So you have a very transformative energy about you. You're quite beautiful as well. Like I was saying, you could be a little bit small, this, that, but you're cute. You're beautiful. You call a lot of attention. You have a lot of beauty. And I think it comes from within, which is why it's even more significant and more powerful. I also like how these colors are the same colors around the rabbit. Maybe also Aphrodite, the goddess Aphrodite, has been trying to get a hold of you. For some of you, if you do deity work, and this could be your confirmation here today, or one of the confirmations I'm hearing. But yeah, Aphrodite for sure. And then with the butterfly, obviously transformation. You could have a very transformative energy about you. There's something about wherever you go, you know what I was speaking about, picking up on the, like that sixth sense thing that you have, that maybe you use but you don't really know that it's like your sixth sense, or like the magical things about you. Whatever that is, it's almost like you use it to transform things around you, people, certain like structures of, like if I'm talking about work, it could be like, let's say there's a way that they do certain thing. You come in, let's say you're new or something, or you don't have to be, but there's something about you using your spiritual gifts to transform things that already exist, but you make them better. But you do that intuitively as well. But also it comes from you having such attention to detail and attention to like the shift, or of quite literally energy around you. Like I was saying, that rabbit looks like he just heard something. The wind changed, a smell changed. I don't know. There's a shadow that passed over it. Maybe it's an eagle. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like it's like that. You are very sensitive to everything around you, which is why you have a way of transforming things as well. I don't know what that's about. I hope that makes sense for some of you. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So you actually, I'm seeing like this is quite the opposite. It's like you're not prideful at all. You're very accepting of yourself and others. That's quite beautiful. You have a very gentle energy about you, like a gentle heart. You're very loving. Again, I keep picking up on Virgo energy, but you just have like a natural loving energy about you. And like it says, I see myself in everyone. I accept everyone. Wow, that's beautiful. All right, let's see what lasting impression you have on others. Resourceful, yes. The horn cactus, yes. Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying about, it's like the things that you pick up on, that your sensitivity and maybe your a little bit of anxiety, it's resourcefulness. That's beautiful. And then you have a lot to give as well because of your resourcefulness. It's like you transmute it into this transformative energy. Or the cactus, stores water. and people can actually survive by drinking from it. And also its roots taps deep into the earth where it pulls a lot of the nutrients that it needs. It's something about you, wherever you're placed, whether you have very little or a lot to survive off of, you still make it. You know, you make it wherever you go. And maybe you don't attribute that resourcefulness to your spiritual gifts, but I'm telling you they're tied to that, okay? Nothing will come of this situation. See, this is you. You don't shy away from this. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you don't shy. You are resourceful. There's no such thing as nothing will come of this. You don't believe in this. You don't believe in this at all. Like, this is not what you believe in. You, wherever you go, you know that you can make it. Wherever you go, you know that you can not just make it better or have an impact because, like, for yourself, but for other people as well. Wow. People, a lot of people definitely admire you. They also admire what you have done with so little, maybe in your life. Maybe people have known that you haven't had much of a certain thing, whatever it is, or maybe a lot in a lot of aspects of life, but they see how you still survive and you thrive wherever you're put. Again, with whatever little or much you have. Seven of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Exactly. Exactly. It's almost like you, with the Seven of Cups, this is making me pick up on, again, the whole like confusion. There could be so much input from the world coming your way that you get a little bit confused, overwhelmed about what to pick, what not to pick, a little bit of anxiety regarding, you know, if I go this way, would this work out for me? Or too worried about making the wrong choices and stuff like that. But the thing is, you use your magician energy without you knowing, your sixth sense, okay? You use it, and every time that you choose something, whether it was confusing or not, it becomes this, a new opportunity. It's like, you know what? It makes me think of Pal 1, where like people also perceive them as lucky. Like people perceive you as lucky in sometimes, you know, like in a certain kind of way where everything just works out for you eventually. You're resourceful. It's almost like you go from the desert. People have seen you go from the desert and in a place where nothing will come of it to actually you having choices and you picking something that actually works. You know, like it's almost like this. Pentacles make me think of like quite literally the sun, happiness being delivered to you by the divine. But it's because you worked for it, Pautu. You deserve it. That's interesting. That's what people don't see, the struggle, or they have seen the struggle and they can almost not fathom how you got to this point. That's interesting. There's also something here about you, you being very blessed. People see you as being blessed. In many aspects, but especially when it comes to health and when it comes to money, you seem to be very blessed. But maybe it's because you've been using that intuition of yours to, you know, kind of guide your, you know, literally walk through life in a way where you're using your intuition to help you, you know, make choices, the right choices. All right. And the last one here, we're going to see what comes to mind when people think about you. This should be really interesting for you. Let's see. Celebration. Exactly. Things work out for you. Celebrate your achievements. You are truly a gift to the universe. You're a gift to the universe. You're a gift to those around you, like I said. There's something about your energy that people naturally are very accepting of. They can resonate with you, the struggles that you've been through as well. And they can also kind of like be inspired by your resourcefulness, the way that you push through things that, um, could have kept you in this illusion or confusion state, but actually you came out on top. Transcendence, wow. Transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul light to truly shine. That's interesting too. You are transformative. Transformation and transcendence is here for you. Yeah. People see how much you changed over the years. I feel like you have like long friendships, or like you could have like long standing relationships. I'm sorry, I'm like shifting in my chair. Long standing relationships, and people have seen through the years how much you've changed. It's almost like you came up with nothing. You grew up with very little, and here you are with a lot. Okay, a lot to offer, a lot to that. Just it's not just that it's been like offered or like provided to you. Like I said, blessed. People think you're blessed, but it's also that you've worked for it. You've worked for it, but it not just worked for it. It actually has worked out for you as well. Okay. The Seven Sisters, birthing, creation, tapestry of life, and expression. There's that. There's you again, like literally birthing, creation, making. It's almost like you made lemonade, but God, the divine God didn't even give you lemons, but somehow here you are with lemonades. Like whatever people perceived as you, nothing will come of that. Here you are making it happen. Okay, the fact that we have the Seven Sisters and the celebration, I love it, because this card makes me think of the Three of Cups in this deck, the LIGHTSEERS deck, which I always see like a celebration, and I always see like the constellations in front of it. It's interesting. So it is a celebration. Maybe there was a very significant celebration of yours that happened in your life that people still think about. When they think of you, they think of you actually celebrating your wins, or being there for you when you got to this point of something was finally, your life was finally blessed with something. Wow, weight of the world's boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. I think this is about you taking care of a lot of people around you as well. This could be family, especially family. Like I said, you bring you transform things around you, or you try to bring change for the betterment to those around you. Sometimes it's not well received, sometimes it is. And then when it's not, people actually do think that, you've done your best. Like some things are not for you to truly be responsible for. Like it's understandable that you have to let go of certain things, or had to let go of certain things or people or situations. Wow. So this is the Ace of Wands, so another ace, and also the Strength card in this deck. You are a very strong character. And again, that ace makes me think of that blessing, because the ace it's always like the hand coming from the heavens giving you this, right? Very blessed, very blessed. But again, it's like earned, like people do know that you've been through some shit here. But they've seen you again rise and transform and be resourceful and choose the right things. Wow. Okay, last card here. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Great. You know what? Your guides are funny. They're playing with me right now. Because this says tall. And I literally was saying how people see you and you're like a little bit small but cute. And this, wow, okay. Utilitarian, organized, intimidating. This is interesting. I think um, this energy is kind of what you pick up on, or kind of like the energy that you actually transform in your favor. You're small but mighty, even though you kind of stand up to these I'm seeing like bullies or people, again, maybe people that are very prideful or something like that. You stand up to them, and it's because you love yourself, and you kind of show other people that if they love themselves, they will love everyone as well, and they will be accepting of others. This is interesting. But the fact that this is literally in parentheses tall, okay, that's funny. I don't know if you find that funny, but I found that funny. I don't think you're intimidating or anything like that. I think it's quite the opposite. If anything, it speaks about you intimidating those people that are kind of bullies and like mean, or they don't just, whoever doesn't have like your kind of vibe or something like that, it's like you can sniff them out. Again, there's the spidey senses thing, and you don't judge them or anything like that, but you kind of get them to a point where they transform, you know? Maybe you convince them to be a little bit better, or you keep being your beautiful, loving self, your cute self around them, and eventually it kind of rolls off on them or something like that. I think you're definitely unforgettable because you have a lot of intensity about you, even though it comes, I keep want to say it comes in a small package. I feel like a lot of you are super cute and dainty and short and petite, and I don't know. But you carry a lot of big energies with you as well. Big energies. I mean, we have the Magician, we have transformation, transcendence, resourcefulness, we have the Strength card, and 2 aces. That's a lot. That's a lot of energy. A lot of just, there's a lot. Maybe your auric field is very big. Your energetic presence is big as well. Yeah. So thank you so much, Pao2, for letting me read for you. This was quite interesting. I hope that this resonates with you. Kind of sounds like you a bit. Obviously, it's how people perceive you as well. So it's, you know, sometimes you maybe don't agree with certain things that I said. But overall, this was a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for letting me tap into your energy, and I hope to see you in other readings in the future, guys. Part 3. So, if you picked the raw green aventurine chunk, this is going to be your reading. Today I'm going to be holding onto your crystal while I do your reading because that's what I feel called to do, okay? So it's going to be out of frame. But yeah, we are looking into what makes you unforgettable. So with the first set of cards, I'm going to be looking into what people notice about you when they first meet you, like their first impression of you. Let's see what that is. Ooh. Okay, this is the spirit element in this deck. The sea serpent. Oof. All of these piles with these cards have told me about the aura, your aura colors. Blue for sure, green makes sense. Also like aquamarine. Wow, you have a big presence. You're very, there's something about you, oh my God, what is it? Like transformation is significant for you because of the snake eating itself, you know, like it's almost like ending beginnings. There's a lot of karmic cycles that you've closed, or there's a lot of cycles in your life that you've lived through. It's almost like you've lived many lifetimes in one lifetime. And I don't think you're that old either. I mean, you could be a little bit older, but I'm talking about like just since birth, you've been going through so many transformations. Divinely guided ones, which is, you're very highly spiritual. I think you guys are definitely like Pisces or Cancer, I'm picking up on. Also Aquarius for some reason. I'm going to read about this for you, okay? I don't think people see you as a snake. They probably just see you as someone that really likes like the ocean, or I don't know, you're also very calming, believe it or not. But there's a lot of intensity behind your eyes as well. So maybe people shy away from eye contact with you, or you do. So it says healing emotional wounds, expressing desires. So it says the subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the, I don't know how to say that word, I'm going to butcher it. It's this one. Let's try it. Svahastana chakra, located deep within the pelvic below. This chakra is also known as our center of creativity and desire, and is associated with the water element. In her own above, it's what it means. Okay, so indicating this chakra is the home of the Divine Mother, or Kundalini herself. Very interesting. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotional, creative, sensual, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire the most. Okay, you guys are definitely also, you have Scorpio energy, that intensity thing that I was picking up on, and this mentioning sexuality makes sense with Scorpio. The eye intensity, maybe a lot of you, if you know your chart, a lot of you could have Scorpio and Lilith. Okay, your Lilith is actually in Scorpio, which is interesting too. All right, because it mentions the Divine Mother, and that's, yeah, okay. So it says, our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and endearing. We loosen the grip of self-judgment, and we let the cool water of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy is off, the sea serpent is not yet activated. Our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in others places it to flood. In other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the water of our emotional lives looks like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true nature. That is a beautiful energy that you carry. Pile 3. Wow. All right, let's keep going here. 7 of Pentacles. 9 of Swords. I said it. You've been through a lot of cycles in your life that you've closed off, that you moved on from. You're tending to your garden. Maybe you're tending to your healing at this time, emotional, and therefore a lot of I can't come up with a word now. Like anxiety, like so emotional healing and mental health as well. Like you're working on that at this moment. People notice that about you when they meet you, but yeah, there it is. 4-4 master teacher number, growth. Yep. That makes so much sense. I think you've gone through so much growth in your life. Maybe through struggles, maybe through struggling with mental illnesses, kind of having those out of balance at some point in your life. But it has driven you to a point of, maybe you've had a Kundalini awakening actually, that drove you to a little bit of psychosis here. And people might know that about you, like in your life, but now they perceive you as growing. You're tending to your garden. There's a lot of growth that you've done, okay? They perceive that about you right away. Maybe you are very quite openly and outspoken about the things that you've been through, because you feel like by sharing it, you make space for other people to also be comfortable and understand that they are not like weird, or there's something wrong with them because they have been through a spiritual awakening, or they've gone a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Pops while going through it. We've all experienced our awakenings in different ways. So that's really interesting. That's quite beautiful. Like it said, like you hold space, you wrap around people in a very motherly way. You're just very caring, but you have a lot of intensity about you as well. Look at that. It looks the same to me. That's crazy. Wow. Trust. I said that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Wow. You're very trustworthy. Again, I think it stems from you being so authentically outspoken about who you are and the things that you've been through, that you don't really have to speak about the growth. The growth just shows. People just notice that. And again, you are very trustworthy. You could also feel like you're one of those people that people just naturally share their things with, like, and they're like, oh my God, I haven't really spoken about this in years, or I haven't told many people about this, but I felt so inclined to tell you or share it with you. It's because you're non-judgmental. Like you're very accepting. You're very nice. You're very, very nice. People definitely take that away when they meet you. Like they notice how nice you are, and you're just trustworthy. Naturally, you just, people don't have to know you too long to kind of just open up, because you do the same. You're very authentic. You're very open. Okay. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. Next, we are looking at what lasting impression you kind of have on other people when they meet you. All right, tidy house, clarity and organization. This is interesting because I feel like, yes, okay, so you have a lasting impression of, maybe you keep your actual house very nice, very neat, very aesthetically pleasing, very well decorated, very, very nice, the environment. But you also are kind of like this. You know how some, like I was saying, trustworthy. Some people feel like home. Well, you could feel like home to a lot of people, or people just think of you and they think they're very pleasant, they're very nice, they're very welcoming. You could also feel like people feel like they know you, they've known you for a while, and naturally you have a lot of clarity. You bring a lot of clarity, like in your energy. That's why people like to talk to you, maybe about their problems, of the things that they've been through, because you're not just a good listener. When you sympathize in such a, like, an authentic way. Wow. Confidence is the key to success. New Moon in Leo. Okay. I think while you're changing and you're growing, people also notice that you are slowly becoming more confident in who you are, even though even though a lot of people that they leave with the impression of you are confident, but they also see how that's going to even grow even more when you actually kind of keep on this growing, keep growing in this spiritual way that you are growing. Because you could be like in the beginnings of your spiritual awakening, or you could be in the beginning of your spiritual path here, but they see so much potential for success. They see you as successful, but they also see so much potential with that new moon energy. Wow, exactly. What did I say about cycles? Death and rebirth, a lot of the time. Scorpio energy too. A lot, you've done a lot of your life has been about this, cycles, endings and beginnings. Hard lessons you've learned here, path 3. Wow. Yeah, look at that. You fighting to stay. It's people realize that you fought to be where you are. You know, you've had a lot of transformation, but you've also been a warrior while at it. Like Wow. They also, they understand why you carry this energy with you. Like I was saying, this intensity with you is because you've had to defend it in the past. You've had to defend the things that you believe in, the things that you want to pursue, who you are. You've had to defend over and over and over again. Again, it has led you to a lot of growth, which I think you yourself wouldn't change it for anything, the things that you've been through. But people definitely perceive it and they take it with them as it's almost like a soul imprint, like they realize, they recognize that about you. You have the lasting impression on them. Of your intensity comes from a place of you knowing who you truly are and having to defend that as well. All right. And then we are going to be looking at what comes to mind when people think about you. Intuition, without a doubt. Without a doubt. That could be why you're so intense as well. People might feel like you look right through them. Trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers that you seek. Yeah. And surrender. Surrender your need to control the outcome. Just be with life in this present moment. It's interesting that people think about you and this comes to mind. Probably because they've seen how through your spiritual path here, you've had to quite literally use your intuition a lot, but also learn to surrender and trust the divine, which a lot of people would admire that about you because that's not really easy to do, especially when it leads you to starting off at square one. Like you see how that's a one, like a death and a rebirth, and here you are. It's almost like you've gone through this energy and you've had to just trust that it was going to be over. You had to surrender your pain, your anguish, your anxiety, your depression, your hardships to the divine, and by doing that, it's helped you be in, I don't know, like grow, right? That's hard to do, which is why people admire it about you. Extremely hard to do, actually. The great serving, wow. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love, wow. People also, you know what? When people think about you, they think you're out of this world. Like quite literally, you could come across as, now I'm picking up on like Aquarian energy because you could be very unique, very, very unique, almost alien-like to other people. They're like, oh no, they're from Mars. And this passion and this conflict thing, I see it. I see it in the Seven of Wands. Mars is also about like Aries energy and, excuse me, Aries energy and what is it? The Emperor energy. You know, someone in their power, someone who's not afraid to follow through, be that warrior that they need to be. That comes to mind as well when people think about you. That's why you're unforgettable. You quite literally present as like this strong character, but you're also so nice and accepting of others because you're very open about the hardships that you've had to endure in your life. And it's quite beautiful. It's quite what is it, inspiring to others. Oh, excuse me. Breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Like I said, when you speak to other people, you speak from a very authentic way. Your breath, quite literally, your spoken word is very significant. People resonate with how you speak and the things that you speak about as well. They know you're not bullshitting. They know you come from, it's like you're tapping into divine cosmic energy, like you're tapping into one consciousness, divine consciousness, and you bring those messages through. Again, there's that intensity. I keep looking at the sea serpent, that eye in the middle. It's like there's that intensity, you pulling in that energy and like extending it outwardly. This was the Hierophant, I saw it. So this is also the Five of Pentacles, but this is also the Hierophant in this deck. But you see that intensity? You see what I mean? Your eyes are very intense, Pile 3. Very intense. With the 5, I quite like it. 5 is about constant change, evolution, again, growth. You don't shy away from it. You constantly are like evolving and changing, and you actually crave it. You crave change. You crave movement. You probably have a life path number 5 as well. But again, very intuitive, very tapped in. Again, like I said here, it's like you speak with authority. Quite literally, the Hierophant is the Pope in the tarot. You speak with authority because it's almost like you speak from, you get your information from God. You could be claircognizance. You get your information from the divine, okay? You're very much connected. Your crown chakra is very activated as well. Maybe that's kind of why you went through a little bit of psychosis when you first awakened, because of how much information you receive. Your third eye is activated, your crown is activated. You went through a Kundalini awakening as well. It's a lot of intensity, okay? Which is why it's like you're unforgettable because of your big presence. You have a lot of intensity about you, but you're also very nice, very welcoming, very understanding, very motherly towards people, very protective. You really stand up for what you believe in as well. All right, last card here. That makes sense. I said you're out of this world. Starseed, self, memory, and identity. Yeah. There could be one significant relationship here for you, like a significant counterpart. Maybe you're not together at the moment or something like that. I don't know why I'm picking up on that, but it's like you left a lasting impression on someone. And, I don't know what that's about, but that's interesting. The colors here make me think again of that Kundalini, all the chakras being awakened as well. You're very dreamy. You're like out of this world. You're a character, quite frankly. But it stems from everything that you've been through and everything that you kind of pick up on as well. But just imagery wise, I almost see like there's so much here. Like you've been, like I said, you've been through so much. It's like you've been through a very harsh, probably like spiritual awakening, and people perceive it as, oh my God, they lost their mind, but here they are again, like showing how much they've grown, actually getting to do things. They're very confident now. They're not afraid to be who they are, fight for it, stand up for what they believe in, even if other people don't believe it themselves, right? You're very out of this world, very much connected to the cosmos, connected to, like I said, quite literally one consciousness, divine consciousness. Your intuition is sharp. You also are very trusting, and you have a lot of faith. And you also, because of that, you and other people just naturally trust you. They believe in you. They believe in what you say, just naturally. You don't have to convince anybody of anything because you embody who you really truly resonate with, okay? Wow. You're not afraid or ashamed to be who you are as well. Intensely and like in the most, authentic way possible, okay? That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Pal 3, for letting me read for you. This was a beautiful reading. I hope that this resonated and brought you a lot of confirmation. Thank you for letting me tap into your energy, and I hope to see you guys in other readings in the future.